What's up, Buttercups? Hope you guys are having an amazingly golden day with cherries on top. If this is your first time watching, my name is Elvis.
My name's Evgeny.
Awesome. And in this video, we are going to be taking a look at the Century and telling you the 10 most interesting things about the Toyota Century V12. Because this car is amazing. It is Japan's best kept secret. I think it was never sold in the United States. It was never sold anywhere else in the world but Japan. And it is the Japanese Rolls Royce. It has tons and tons of features, which I think you guys are gonna be excited about. And then we're also gonna take it for a drive because it is glorious to drive, spoiler alert. So with that said, let us get started. So this is his Toyota Century. If you haven't seen the previous video I made with this car, we picked it up from the port of where it just came from Japan. And since then, you've had this car for a little while now. So, but he has gone to Montreal and he has come back. So how was your trip?
So that was a wonderful trip, honestly.
Okay.
This car, absolutely flawless.
That's
Gas
so
guzzler,
awesome.
but absolutely flawless reliability. It was amazing. Probably the car to pick if you want to do a cross-country trip.
Yes, I agree with that, even though I haven't been on a cross-country trip in the car yet. But we just want to tell you guys the top 10 most interesting features about this car, because there are some crazy features that this car has. It blows my mind. And so with that said, we're just gonna get started. So if we could say what the Toyota Century is, like I mentioned earlier, it is Japan's, I think, best kept secret, because they never sold this car to anywhere else in the world, no one else in the world.
That is correct.
Yeah, why? So why was that? Like,
So,
what's the deal with that?
The name Century comes from the fact that this car, well, the first generation of it, was made to celebrate the founder's 100th birthday.
Which century makes sense.
Makes sense, right? So, they made this for the elite, basically, in Japan, for the royal family, for like really wealthy businessmen.
So like ordinary peasants like you and I would not be able to buy
Yeah, no, they didn't let people just
never
go
sold
into a
it to the general
dealership
public.
and buy one. You had to be on a list of like really important people to
That's
get it.
crazy.
And of course, usually it wouldn't be the owner that drives it, right?
No, it's the
car made for
chauffeur.
chauffeurs.
Yeah, the peasants like us that would get to drive this, and the guy would sit in the back. And so with that, there's a lot of interesting things about this car. So we are just going to start out from the top. This thing is made for the backseat passengers. And so you would see right now, the front seat has a hole in it. You can kind of see it there. And yeah, what is that for?
So once you're gonna be driving, you've probably seen it in the previous video as well.
Yeah.
It's made for the rear passenger to recline the seat, stick
Yeah.
their feet through, and enjoy a nice lounge in the back.
That is just crazy. So demonstrate this for us so we can
So my
we
shoes
can
are
see
kind of
this.
snowy, wet. I'll take off my shoes just
Oh,
for this.
yeah, true.
Oh, this is so soft. So the CEO, the rear passenger, would just stick their
Just
feet through
chill.
and just
Yeah.
chill.
Look at it. It's just so crazy. And
I can't like overemphasize just how comfortable it is in here. Like
It is
the
nice.
wool is so soft. It's nicely sprung.
yeah, and an interesting thing about this, it is all wool inside the interior. There's no leather, and that's because...
No, there is leather right here.
I mean, apart from here, but like,
Small
that's
detail.
because I heard leather makes more noise.
A lot of people chose the wool because it's softer.
Yep.
It doesn't make any noise when you move on it. You know, leather, when you wiggle on it, it kind of creaks and rattles. Not rattles, but like
Yeah,
squeaks.
and in the winter, it's also not as cold.
It doesn't get as cold in the winter, not as hot in the summer as well. And it's also apparently really good like moisture and like staying clean.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how true that is, but so far you can see it held up amazing.
And if you guys had smell-o-vision, if you could smell this car, oh, it smells amazing. It literally I don't even know how to convey the smell to you.
It smells
But-
like an old Japanese car.
Yeah,
If you've ever
it
been
smells
like a really vintage Japanese
so
car,
nice.
This is exactly what it smells like.
Yeah, and then another interesting thing about this car is everything in this car is pretty much powered, except door opening and closing. It does have soft closed doors, but everything else, the front and rear seats have power controls. So if you were to come here and open that up, you would see there's power controls. Front, back, you can recline the passenger. Oh, you can see, look. The seat can go completely flat. You can have a great time. And you can also control the front passenger seat as well.
From the back.
From the back,
right here.
which is mind-blowing.
If there's someone sitting in the front, they're unfortunate because 3 people can control the seat.
It's not, the front passenger was not, it's not important for the most part.
It's really made for second-class citizens.
Yeah.
It's not made to be actually used. Like, whenever I have people in the car, they're always sitting in the back just because it's not
this is the place to be. No. And another interesting thing about this is it has a, what's it called? TV.
Yes.
It has a freaking TV. This is the remote control. What year is this car?
So this is an 02. They started making this generation of Century in 97.
Yeah.
And since we're in Canada, we have a 15-year rule, right? So we can import cars early.
Yeah. Compared to America.
Yeah, compared to the US.
Yeah.
Compared to the rest of the world, we're still late.
Yeah, because I used to live in the States, and 25 years, like, they still have the old cars. Those are the ones that are legal. I don't know if these are legal yet.
So these ones, they started making them in 97. So the very first model year is becoming legal, has become legal this year.
That's crazy.
So they made this car from 97, as I said, up until 2017. Then in 18, they released a new model. So for 20 years flat.
It had exactly the same looks for almost 30 years.
They made us a few tweaks, like the taillights were revised, the headlights were revised, a few other like minor changes, but nothing that really stands it apart from like this model year. Right?
So start the engine. Let us hear that V12. So another interesting thing about this car is it is the only Toyota ever.
The only Japanese
car to ever have a V12, which is mind-blowing. And it is amazing. Pretty much it's like 2 1JZs strapped together. It has 2 ECUs, 2 sensors, everything. So in a time when maybe the car fails, you can still run the car on 6 cylinders with no problem. Mind-blowing. And so start up the car. Hear it, listen to it. Oh, the way it sounds when it starts, it
sounds like a Rolls Royce, basically.
Glorious.
Like a really high-end car.
Yeah, it sounds so good. And you can see there's a Japanese lady saying some toll booth things in there, but you can kind of see digital gauges for the driver. It has GPS, but it shows that we're in the middle of the ocean or somewhere not known. Everything is in Japanese.
You have the electronically operated glove box right here.
Oh,
which currently has stuff in there.
Oh, that's
cool. You just press a button and it opens up.
It opens and, okay, come on. Everything in this car is powered. It's just mind-blowing.
Literally.
And so, so go from the other side. Let us check out this infotainment system back here. Because you can see it's almost like a whole thing. You have your vents up here, and then the infotainment system. And so is this a DVD player?
Right, so basically, in 97, DVDs weren't really commonplace yet, especially not in like, older conservative gentlemen.
Yeah.
So what they used in the time was VHS.
Oh! So it's actual VHS tapes.
Yes, it's actual VHS tapes.
Wow.
In 2005, when they did the facelift, they changed this for a DVD player because that was more commonplace at that point.
Okay.
But it started off with a VHS player, which this one has.
That's crazy. Oh.
So right here, if I wanted to play a VHS,
how do you understand Japanese? It's so
I had to Google Translate this and
Oh wow!
Right now I have Terminator loaded in. It's
nice.
Done the movie, but you see that it plays movies.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Apart from that, like there's
actual, also TV.
Yeah, you can actually have like TV.
What?
Which is cool right now, obviously.
Oh my! For early 2000s, that's insane. Like that's crazy. And then, oh my gosh. Another interesting thing about this car, like I mentioned, everything is powered. So it just has heated seats,
so these
but
just have heated seats.
It also has massaging seats as well, which is insane. It has electronic curtains. So voila, it is glorious. And it is just for more privacy, and so no peasants can look inside your car and see what you're doing or the business meetings you're having. Exactly. And then this car, does it also have the audio, the recorder and stuff?
So that's a common misconception, actually.
Okay.
I think Doug DeMuro even talked about it.
Yeah. Or it's a Walkman or something.
Yes, it's a Walkman. So my car, in the listing photos, it had the Walkman in it. When I got the car,
they stole it.
Somebody stole it, so I don't have it, unfortunately. And those.
Oh no! And the function of that is so pretty much if you're having meetings in this car, since this car was owned by Top Brass and all that, sometimes you want to have your conversations recorded, and so they want to just record it, and so it came with the Walkman.
That's what a lot of people say.
Okay.
In reality, what it is, so you plug a Walkman in that's specifically like Century branded, made for this car. You plug that in, and you can play music off. Obviously, because
is that what it was for?
Yes, it was just a Walkman to play music off of.
Oh.
But right, so the microphone button right here that Doug DeMuro thought was a recorder
was
actually to do karaoke. You Japanese
Yeah,
people, right?
karaoke. That is actually that sounds very
It's very
accurate.
Japanese and
yeah, it
correct. So
does.
this is just to adjust the volume for the karaoke. That is,
Okay, that's funny. That's
unfortunately,
awesome.
can't demonstrate it because you
Dang it, they stole the freaking recorder.
Yeah, and then the microphone plugs in right here.
Oh, that's cool.
You just sing along with your
Yeah,
friends.
sweet. And you have 2 cup holders as well. Just chilling here if you want to eat some, or not eat some drinks. Drink some drinks. And another cool thing is you have this pillow-like thing for resting your head on the surface.
Lumbar in the back, which was
Insane.
rare for cars of this period. And the headrests too, they're also power operated, which is
What?
quite surprising.
Yeah.
But everything works in the car, obviously it's a Toyota.
Yep. And then
up top, right here, there's mirrors, so you can do your makeup,
yeah,
do
so
your
you can
hair,
look at yourself.
and some lights, the usuals, some air vents in the roof too, so you
Yep.
can keep cool.
Insane. Yeah. And then, oh, you haven't showed us the shoehorns that it comes with.
Right. So I don't know. This is not the original one. I don't know if it came with one originally, but it has a spot for it.
That's
it has
funny.
a shoehorn spot, so
A
you can take off your shoes,
Yep.
stick your feet through.
And I heard
when
it
you're
also
done-
has like a spot where you can store slippers or something, like a compartment.
You might be talking about this one right here.
Yes, yes. They said that is
compartment.
for storing your flip-flops.
Really? That's
Yeah,
what it's
that's
for.
what I heard, yeah.
Okay, and I thought this is just like for your drugs or whatever.
Nah. Or maybe like for lunch, maybe?
Well, yeah,
I
it's
don't
a
know.
small plastic compartment that I guess would fit slippers pretty nicely.
Yeah.
It's just stored under the seat right here.
Yeah. So awesome. And then I also, interesting thing, this thing has soft closed doors. So you don't have to close this completely. You can just set it like that. And it closes it. That is just awesome. And it also has a power closing trunk as well.
It's soft closing, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
you
soft closing.
just press it down slightly and it finishes.
Nice.
So the whole car is built by hand, assembled by hand,
Insane.
painted by hand. Little known feature, this car has 9 layers of paint.
9 layers of paint.
9 layers of paint on it originally, which is all hand painted, obviously. Then it's
Crazy.
hand wet sand and hand polished, so
Wow.
that it's a mirror finish, basically.
Yeah, it looks amazing. And it is, if you guys don't, it looks black in some pictures, but this car is actually a dark blue
Yeah,
because
so it's a
most
dark
Centuries are black. And an
incredibly
interesting thing is this logo over here, it's the Imperial House of Japan. And that is, some people call it a chicken, but it's a phoenix, right?
It's a phoenix.
Yeah. I've heard that takes 30 days to carve out, which is mind-blowing.
By hand.
And it was done by hand, which is even more crazy. This has air suspension as well, which is crazy for 2002. Mind-blowing. And so with that said, we are just going to get into the Japanese Rolls Royce and we're gonna go on a drive. Evgeny's gonna drive me around and then I'm gonna drive Evgeny around and we're gonna see who has a better time. So with that said, let us
in the
do
back
this.
is having the better time. I
That's
think.
true. Oh, thank you, Jeeves.
Soft close.
Yeah, soft close. Nice. So I'm just gonna turn on my massaging seats. Oh yeah. Oh, it feels so nice back here. It's so quiet. Like, I'm surprised with how much noise insulation there is.
It's really uncanny, especially when you turn this off. Like I was sitting at a red light earlier.
Like when you turn off the sound system, it sounds quiet. Like you don't hear anything.
It's whisper quiet.
And it's a V12. I cannot imagine the amount of mufflers this thing has.
So it has 5 mufflers total.
No
5
way.
mufflers, just
One for
to
each
make it-
cylinder or one for 2.
basically. But this
What?
thing can idle down to 450 RPM, which
What?
I don't think I've ever seen a car do that.
That's insane.
Yeah, right now it's idling at 450. No
What?
problem at all. If you turn on the climate control, obviously goes back to 600, but like
Yeah.
it idles crazy low.
Oh my gosh.
And of course, this is the car that gets the most attention. That I've
I know,
ever owned
it's
before.
insane. Because people are like, what is that?
Nobody knows
Like,
what it is.
everyone is just looking at you. That's so funny. How does it feel up there?
Not as good as you in the
I
back,
know.
that's for
Oh
sure.
my gosh. I literally feel like I'm like an African king or something. I am from Nigeria, so I am African, but not a king or a prince.
Yet.
Yeah. Oh, this is so nice. It's just comfortable.
It feels flat until you take a sharp corner.
Oh
there.
gosh, I know. Oh my gosh.
much-
No, there's ice on this road. You want to kill us?
Yeah, this car is
Okay, let's do a driver swap. Let me see how this thing drives. That sound. Like once you close the door, everything disappears. This thing has fender mirrors, but I actually really like them. What do you think?
I honestly
prefer
love
them
them.
to-
So another comment about that, fender mirrors were, you did it.
I know I did.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't driven, before you talk about fender mirrors, if you guys haven't driven a right-hand drive Japanese car before, JDM, everything is flipped, including the indicators.
No, luckily the pedals aren't flipped.
I mean,
Pedals
yeah,
are
that'll be, I mean,
But,
everything,
yeah.
but indicators are over here. But if you don't know, like me, or you just find yourself constantly doing that. And so do you still do that with, because
I
know
don't
you-
do that anymore, no.
Okay.
It's a habit that you kind of get out of after
Yeah.
2 weeks or so.
Oh, I did it again, dang it! Okay, let's do this.
Right, so back to the fender mirrors.
Yes.
So this car has them, obviously, but it was actually an option as well. You could get the regular, like, door mirrors, and you did it again. You could get the regular door mirrors, like on any other Toyota.
Oh, you could?
Yeah, you could.
Oh!
Obviously, importing one, you want them on the fenders, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
It just looks so much cooler.
But I guess you don't want to look at the person in Japan. You don't want to look at the person in the back directly or something.
Exactly. That's what I've heard, anyways. Because you
Yeah.
can still like look at them through the middle mirror, but
Yeah,
that's what
because
I've
with
heard.
this mirrors, you're not like looking back at the person or
Yeah.
all of that. So it's not as disrespectful, is it? Or
I guess.
I don't
guess.
know. It's very interesting.
Honestly, what I love the most about them is how you don't have to turn your head at all.
Yeah, I know. Literally, from this point of view, you can see everything going on pretty much all around you. And this car is so quiet. You do feel some of the bumps, but it is very muted. Like you almost don't feel like this bump. Like in any car that I've ever driven, that would have felt like a, but in this one it was just so, it just takes it nicely. And again, this thing has air suspension, but it's like really nice air suspension. And even let me floor it, let me see. So it builds. So with the V12, it just, oh, that's, yeah. It just keeps on building. It's like a push, but it's not like a push that, like a normal, like a Lamborghini would give you. It's more like a, it's like a waft. It just wafts along. That's the
best
word.
way my friend described it was the car doesn't accelerate, it advances.
Yeah.
It feels
That
like
is
a private
good way to
jet sitting in the
describe
back
it.
here.
Yes, it does advance. That's a perfect word. Yeah, how does it feel back there when I do all the accelerations?
It is amazing. Well, in the back, it genuinely feels like a jet taking off.
Yeah.
If you floor it right now, it's just probably gonna spin the wheels. It didn't downshift though.
No.
If you really like push it to the
So
down to the
quiet.
ground, it kicks down another gear. Put it in power mode.
What's power mode?
There's a
Oh,
mode.
it has like three modes: power, ATCS, and snow mode. So power mode, let's see. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's way fast. I mean, not way faster. That was an overstatement. It is noticeably quicker.
You have to get
downshift.
It, you have to get it into VVTi mode, which is about 3,700 RPM and up. That's when the VVTi kicks in, and it really, really takes off.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
It feels slow, low down, because you know it's made for smoothness.
Yeah.
But like, if you have to accelerate quickly, it'll do it.
That's so sick. So many features. Like, I would be like, ooh, what is that? What does that button do? All the time. I put this back in ATCS because this car, even though it has a power mode, is meant for cruising and just smoothly driving.